A rape.
A rape. Holy crap. Once again, me and the Liquor Rob are, he's speaking for both of us. I'm just like sitting here cringing, wondering how anybody, you're like the Newt Gingrich of AT, of Alexander Technique, right? Yeah. You get on top of it, like a whirlwind of people like sign up and you're getting all their money, right? And the first thing you do is start getting on make a video about how you really want to have raping women and stuff, and I just...
Every healthy man wants to rape women, but they don't because they could get caught, it's immoral, or they just, don't want the exertion. Like, men see an attractive woman, that's like the natural instinct is, you want to take her. But a moral person doesn't act on that.
Okay.
You don't want to rape women?
No, I've never...
You have never wanted to rape women?
I view rape as an act of violence, not an act of sex.
Please.
But that's the feminist woman inside of me speaking.
Look at the Lyndon LaRouche of the Alexander Technique.
Who's that? Who's Lyndon LaRouche?
Lyndon LaRouche, remember? He's the guy who thinks that the Queen of England is behind international drug smuggling, and he has all these goofy conspiracy ideas, and he managed to run some people in a city election because they had respectable sounding names. They won back in like 1985. And Lyndon LaRouche, you haven't...
No, I'll look it up later. It's fine. And are not most, if not all, the mitzvahs contrary to our selfish nature?
Exactly.
Oh, exactly. Can I talk about that part? Okay.
Please.
All right. I want to get to Talmud 123's thing in a second too, because he's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, we're going to get to both of you. First thing I want to do is I want to tackle Malachi's thing, right? And this gets back to what the whole conversation was in terms of Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, folks, this is the Torah's outlook on the homosexual act. I don't know what homosexuality is. I don't know what that means, because that's not a Torah concept. I know what the homosexual act is, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know what homosexuality is, and I don't know what a homosexual are, because those aren't Torah terms. Those are Western ideas put together by liberals, and I don't know what they mean, and they don't translate to me. They just go right over my head. Torah, we've talked about this many times in the show before. Torah says that every single human being is inherently bisexual. That means you have, to a degree of some sort, a desire for somebody of the same gender and a desire for somebody of the opposite gender. Right? Every one of us has that. Okay? And some of us have a stronger desire for one or the other, more so than other people do in that area. But that doesn't define us as we are only for this or we are only for that. Every one of us are inherently bisexual. We have a desire for both genders.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us have a very tiny for one gender. And they may not even feel anything for that gender right now, but there may be somebody, let's say, in 10 years that comes along of that gender, whether it's the same one or the opposite one, and they go, "Oh, I'm attracted to that person." So that's what Torah says. What the rabbi said, that it's impossible that God would give us something that's impossible to overcome, has merit to it. I don't agree with that 100%. Okay? But here's what I want to say on that. It's what Malachi said. Malachi is right. Whenever God says don't do X, Y, or Z, that means He gives you a desire for X, Y, and Z. Otherwise, there's nothing to it. It's like, Levi, don't throw coffee out the window. But if Levi doesn't have any desire to throw coffee out the window, what's the point? That's just like 3 points for Levi, right? That would be like welfare Judaism, right? We're just going to give you, like the food stamp president, right? We're going to give you food stamps here, Levi. We're going to give you points upstairs. You have to work for all your points, right? So the idea that someone says, "Well, I'm a homosexual and I that's it." I wouldn't say that we can change the person to become a heterosexual.
Right.
I don't believe that. So that's the part of that statement that I don't necessarily agree with. I don't think that you can change the person.
He says behaviors are changeable.
Behaviors are changeable, but the desire, no. I can't change someone from being, really way into guys to being way into women.
Like hairless Asian boys. I mean, who can really resist that?
We can't do that. But what we can do is if you have a strong desire for one or same gender, right, I absolutely believe that you can stop doing it. You can stop doing that act. And if it means like there's nobody for you to be with because you're not particularly attracted, or you can't find anybody who's available who you're attracted to of the opposite gender, then you're going to end up like me and Lady, and you're going to end up celibate for life.
Right. Oh, no. I haven't had sex in years.
Right, and so that's what you're going to end up with. And I can understand that, and that takes a lot of work.
I'm a very healthy person.
Because
there's nothing twisted about me.
At the end of the day, there's no difference between somebody who has no desire for the opposite gender and someone like me who has desire for the opposite gender, but there's nobody that'll marry me. Because at the end of the day, neither one of us can do anything with our desire. That person has a desire for having sex with the same gender. I have desire for having sex with somebody the opposite gender. Neither one of us are getting it. And both, in actuality, are doing the same thing. We're trying to overcome our desires. And we are going to end up, at the end of the day, celibate and shomer negia. Right? I absolutely believe that it's a cop-out to say, well, I'm a homosexual, so I can't do Judaism. Right? I think that's kind of like a cop-out. I think you still have to put up a fight, But I don't blame someone who bows out and says it's too hard of a fight and I lose, right? I don't blame somebody. But to say that Judaism needs to change for them, no. That you can't do. Judaism is solid. You have to decide, can you handle it or not? I know it's a tough fight. I'm not going to judge somebody who can't handle the fight, right? If somebody is I'll be the first person to say I understand, because if I were given a choice 30-something years ago, and they said, you're going to be shomer negia the whole time, you're going to be celibate for life, you're never going to have anything, right? Is this what you want to do? I would say no, right? I would have said no. If I really, thought it through of what was coming, I would say no. So I'd be a hypocrite if I judge somebody for saying no. But what I don't do and what I can't tolerate is when people want to change Judaism for them. Because you're not willing to put up a fight. So therefore Judaism has to change, and it's only 612 mitzvahs today, and we're just going to tolerate that, and God loves, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's where I have a problem with. So I don't understand why they won't sign this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? If we're just talking...
I'd sign it tomorrow.
I don't understand why they wouldn't sign it. Because the idea is the Torah never changes. Look at the exact Lashon. Bring this up again. Because they got it right when... I need to put on my glasses.
We emphatically
reject the notion that a homosexuality-inclined person cannot overcome his own... Wait, that's not the thing I wanted. The Torah does not forbid something. The Torah is unchangeable. Isn't there a thing that says the Torah is unchangeable?
Does not forbid something which is impossible to avoid.
But there was something that was... Scroll down, please. There was something in it, or maybe it was on the link that you have to go to where it says Torah doesn't change. Torah never change. And we were... Can you try that? Click on that.
Don't worry. New Jersey, I like this statement by New Jersey Rabbi Stephen Przansky. Dutch society is so tolerant with legal and open prostitution and child production and faithfulness in marriage, it is impossible for Jews who grow up in such surroundings to embrace the moral message of the Torah. They are in spiritual shock.
Go to this one and see, because I know that they were like, how can...
No, it's the same story.
Oh, yeah? Because the point is, how can they have a problem with Torah in its authenticity?
Mm-hmm.
To not sign this is to say, that Torah can't be against homosexual act. I don't understand how you can say that and still call yourself from.
What is Justin going on about when he says he's...
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about
something
Justin
about Brit.
Yeah, you need to understand, Justin. I'm talking to you. Is he in the room right now?
Shomer Bris. What does
that mean? I had to Google Shomer Bris.
Yeah.
Okay, a buddy of mine on Facebook said the other day on Facebook that he's Shomer Bris.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even know what that was.
Neither do
I Googled it. Every single hit is from Breslov.
Uh-huh.
He got it from the Breslov... what's that word called? Pamphlets.
Uh-huh.
The propaganda, when the Breslovers come and they drop stuff on you, that's where he got it from.
Oh, it's the great sin of wasting seed.
It's a sin of wasting seed. Right, exactly. None of us would have known. So I have my own... Here's my thing to that. So yeah. Breslov, very cute. They made up their own term, right? Because nobody else knows what this is. Without Google, in the old days, you wouldn't know what that is.
Right.
You're going like, what the hell is Shomer Bris? Because, 3,000 years of Judaism, right?